Good day and thank you for joining us on Beetv News Update at 3. I am Liberateman Johanna. Now the news in details. Troops of Operation Hadinkai have destroyed 3 major ISWAP detention facilities deep inside the Timbuktu Triangle in what military authorities have described as a major breakthrough in the counter-insurgency campaign in the northeast. The Joint Task Force Northeast said the operation was carried out under Operation Desert Sanity 5 following sustained intelligence-led offensives that forced terrorists to abandon key strongholds in the forested corridor spanning Borno and Yobe states. Military sources disclosed that the camps located in Gubjad local government area had the capacity to hold up to 300 detainers, making them central to ISWAP detention and ransom operations. Since January 21st, troops uncovered and destroyed the facilities, leading to the escape of more than 70 captives. Some of the freed victims have since resurfaced in communities including Goniri, Burata, and Mandaragure. One of the escapees, Malan Jibda Bajibda, who was adopted in December 2025, said he fled during an intense gun battle between advancing troops and insurgents. During the engagement, at least 32 ISWAP fighters, including 2 Quads and 3 Munzes, were killed, while several others sustained injuries. The military confirmed that the camps were completely demolished to prevent reuse, describing the mission as a strategic and psychological blow to the insurgents. Authorities said the security across the theater remains calm but unpredictable, adding the troops would sustain pressure to deny terrorists safe havens and restore lasting peace in the region. President Bola Tinubu has called on the World Bank to support Nigerians' ongoing economic reforms, with emphasis on agriculture, youth employment, and private sector growth, as part of his administration's strategy to strengthen the economy and expand opportunities for Nigerians. The president made the call while receiving a delegation from the World Bank led by Managing Director of Operations Anna Bejde at the State House, Abuja. He stressed the need for the mechanization and modernization of agriculture to boost productivity and create employment opportunities for Nigeria's large youth population.
We have our hands on the plow and we're never going to look back. It is very clear that initially it was painful, difficult, but those who win are not those who give up. Now that our petrochemical industry is getting, good output, so how do we help the farmers to combat local market for fertilizers to improve their yields and move them from ordinary small-scale holders to huge cooperative and confident farmers that can bring, opportunity to Nigerians.
Stakeholders have said inclusive housing requires strong collaboration between government and private sector players to ensure its growth and sustainability in 2026. This was part of discussions at the Real Estate Outlook 2026 held in Lagos State. The report.
The Real Estate Outlook 2026 conference in Lagos was themed Unlocking Land and Infrastructure for Inclusive Housing. Participants noted that despite inflationary pressures, currency volatility, and financing constraints across several markets, real estate remains a critical pillar for economic stability, job creation, and urban development. At the event, real estate practitioners gathered to review the performance of the sector and examine structural gaps that need to be addressed to support inclusive and sustainable housing development.
Nigeria's housing challenge is not just about supply, it is about access and affordability. At the heart of this challenge are two structural constraints: land and infrastructure.
Today, we assert that sustainable growth is impossible without inclusive housing. And inclusive housing is impossible without strategically unlocking land and purposefully deploying infrastructure.
Real estate development is not merely a commercial activity. It is a powerful enabler of economic activity, social inclusion, and regional competitiveness.
Former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, who served as the keynote speaker, advocated for structured public-private partnerships as a pathway to inclusive housing.
Land and infrastructure are two binding constraints in unlocking inclusive housing, and that's very clear. Land and infrastructure. We must take control of land and infrastructure if we are going to have inclusive housing. Land scarcity in the southwest cities, for example, is not physical, it's institutional. There is land, but the constraints are fragmented customary ownership, slow and very costly titling, then speculative land, banking.
The former vice president, however, noted that housing should be regarded as the backbone of modern civilization, while real estate practitioners urge the government to ensure housing is truly affordable for Nigerians. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
Reactions continue to follow the recent cases of snake bites and poisoning across the country. The senators urged federal and state governments to make it mandatory for hospitals nationwide to stock life-saving antidotes. Lawmakers said many of the deaths recorded in recent months could have been prevented. The report.
And by the rising number of snake bites and poisoning cases nationwide, the Senate is calling for urgent action to save lives. Lawmakers want both public and private hospitals required to stock essential life-saving antidotes, including antivenoms and antitoxins, as part of standard emergency care. The resolution followed a motion sponsored by Senator Idiat Oloronti Adebule, who warned that many victims die not because treatment does not exist, but because critical drugs are unavailable at the point of care.
Further note that with grave concern, the tragic and avoidable death of Mrs. Ufunaya Nwagene, who reportedly died following a snake bite in Abuja recently, thereby revealing serious gaps in emergency preparedness and antidote availability within public and private hospitals in Nigeria.
During the debate, the Senate referenced the reported death of Ifunaya following a snake bite in Abuja, describing the incident as tragic, preventable, and a clear indication of weakness in the country's emergency response system.
While we are condoling the family of the late woman, we have to be proactive as a government. I see no reason why most of our medical centers and hospitals all over the place shouldn't have medication for snake bites.
The bigger lesson for us is a need for us to have in place policies that must drive our health care. The fatalities that are caused by snake bites can be very painful and indeed avoidable.
As part of its resolution, the Senate has mandated that the availability of essential antidotes be made a compulsory requirement for hospital licensing and accreditation, while also calling for improved funding and supply chains in public health facilities. The upper chamber further directed nationwide public sensitization campaigns on the need for immediate medical attention following snake bites or poisoning and urged stricter building regulations to prevent snakes from accessing residential areas through drainage systems. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
Nigeria's effort to protect its economy from revenue leakages and illicit trade have received a major boost. The Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Unit Zone A recorded a multi-billion naira seizure in Lagos. At its maiden briefing, Controller Aliyu Gambo outlined a new enforcement strategy aimed at safeguarding legitimate KMAS compliance and ensuring trade integrity. The report.
This represents a major enforcement breakthrough by the Federal Operation Unit Zone A of the Nigerian Customs Service, providing insight into anti-smuggling activities over the past 5 weeks. Controller Aliyu Gambo disclosed that intelligence, combined with strengthened internal supervision, led to the interception of 144 smuggling attempts across Lagos and its environs. The unit also rescued 4 live pangolins and arrested 8 suspects, with a total value of seizures estimated at over 3.3 billion naira.
These items are A. 6,954 bags of foreign parboiled rice, each weighing 50 kg, equivalent to 12 trailer loads. 77 bags of foreign sugar, each weighing 50 kg. 21 units of assorted Tukumbo vehicles. D. 3,362 jerrycans of foreign vegetable oil in 25 liters each. E. 20,700 liters of PMS, premium motor spirits. 915 bales of used second-hand clothing.
The 3,000 parcels of Ghanaian cannabis, weighing more than 1.4 metric tons and valued in billions of naira, were subsequently handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for further investigation and prosecution.
We commend the Nigerian Customs Service for their diligence and collaboration. NDLA will ensure these substances are handled, analyzed, and disposed of according to law.
What we've done is that we've cut off the supply chain and we've disrupted the criminal syndicate. That is what we have done.
Controller Aliyu noted that despite recent operational challenges, the Nigerian Customs Service remained resolute in combating smuggling, securing the economy, and facilitating legitimate trade, while urging the public to report suspicious activities. Evelyn is reporting for Beetv News.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, witnessed the official launch of Grind Cycle and AIDS Country Dialogue by the country coordinating mechanism in Nigeria for Global Fund Health Initiatives. The dialogue marks the start of nationwide discussions aimed at shaping funding priorities for HIV, tuberculosis, malaria, and health system. Professor Pate emphasized constraints that require smarter coordination, that the meeting is designed to promote inclusive country ownership, integration, and sustainability in health financing. He also noted that while Nigerians has made significant progress over the past 2 decades, the country now faces global funding.
To commence the Global Fund Grand Cycle 8, the country dialogue consultation, to begin to prepare, even while we're awaiting the letter of allocation from the Secretariat. It is a critical moment. I think this is, I'm sure, very clear in everyone's mind that we're at a very interesting time. We've made tremendous progress over the last 20-something years, but we're also facing significant shifts, changes, and challenges that are with us. That means for the partnership with us all included, we have to think creatively and perhaps work differently to ensure that we safeguard the progress that we have made.
And on the business segment, Nigeria has recorded a major boost in its oil and gas sector with the signing of 28 new field development plans valued at $18.2 billion, carrying an estimated production potential of 1.4 billion barrels of oil. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Henneken Likoberu, disclosed this at the opening of the 9th Nigeria International Energy Summit 2026 in Abuja. The report.
The minister said the achievement reflects improved policy clarity, stronger governance, and the full implementation of key reforms such as the Petroleum Industry Act. He noted that Nigeria accounted for 4 of Africa's 7 major final investment decisions between 2024 and 2025, signaling renewed investor confidence. He also highlighted gains from the Project 1 Million Barrels initiative, which helped raise crude oil production to between 1.7 and 1.83 million barrels per day, alongside increased rig activity and asset transfers to indigenous operators. Opay wins FinTech Digital Bank of the Year award. Leading financial technology company Opay has been named the Sun's FinTech and Digital Bank of the Year 2025, becoming the first recipient of the category since its introduction. The award was presented at the Sun Awards ceremony held on January 31, 2026 at Eco Hotels and Suites in Lagos. Organizers said the recognition reflects Opay's role in promoting financial inclusion through its integrated digital platform, which offers mobile banking, payments, merchant service, and lifestyle solutions. Company executives described the award as encouragement to expand access to secure and user-friendly financial services nationwide. Opay reaffirmed its commitment to innovation, customer trust, and supporting Nigeria's growing digital economy. NRC accuses Oyo local government of destroying railway assets. The Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) has accused the Ibadan Southwest local government of overseeing the destruction of railway infrastructure worth several million naira along its right-of-way in Ibadan, Oyo State. In a statement, the NRC said critical assets including rails, sleepers, signal poles, and fences were damaged during the incident, which allegedly involved officials of the local government. The corporation described the action as a violation of federal law, stressing that railway corridors are legally protected. It added that documentation has commenced for possible legal action while calling on the Oyo State government to intervene to prevent further encroachment and safeguard national infrastructure. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
After months of public disagreement and diplomatic tension, between the two leaders, the report.
The meeting, which took place on Wednesday, was described by President Trump as cordial and productive, signaling a possible shift in relations between the United States and Colombia. Both leaders held closed-door discussions before addressing the media, where they highlighted key areas of cooperation, including trade, security, migration, and counter-narcotics efforts. President Trump stated that despite a previous exchange of criticism, both countries remain strong partners with shared interests. He emphasized the importance of maintaining Colombia as a strategic ally in Latin America, especially in addressing illegal drug trafficking and regional security challenges. Trump also noted that strengthening economic ties between the two nations, with discussions focusing on expanding trade opportunities and investments. President Gustavo Petro acknowledged the strained relations in recent months but expressed optimism following the meeting. He described the discussion as respectful and forward-looking, adding that both nations must work together to tackle global challenges such as climate change, economic inequality, and migration. Tension between Trump and Petro had previously escalated over differences in policies related to drug enforcement, environmental protection, and trade agreements. Petro had earlier criticized aspects of U.S. foreign policy in the region, while Trump questioned Colombia's approach to combating drug cartels and managing migration flows. During the meeting, both leaders agreed to continue diplomatic engagement and strengthen bilateral cooperation through future dialogue. Officials from both administrations indicated that follow-up meetings agreements and joint policy initiatives are expected in the coming months. The White House meeting is seen by political analysts as an attempt by both countries to reset their diplomatic relationship and reinforce cooperation in areas of mutual interest despite ideological differences between the two leaders. Evelyn Izebile reporting for Beetv News.
And lastly, on entertainment news, popular Nollywood actor Bolanle Ninalowo has officially joined the political advocacy space following his appointment as the Atlanta United States coordinator for the pro-Tinubu group. Relax, Tinubu is fixed in Nigeria. The actor made the announcement via his Instagram page, sharing flyers that confirmed his new role. The report.
The advocacy group founded by Sheyi Tinubu recently unveiled coordinators across Nigeria and the diaspora as part of efforts to strengthen grassroots mobilization, youth engagement, and public outreach. The initiative is aimed at sustaining support for the current administration and promoting the renewed hope agenda ahead of the 2027 general elections. In another development, popular Nollywood actress Angela Okorie has reportedly been rearrested shortly after securing bail from Suleja prison. The arrest is allegedly linked to a dispute over unpaid legal fees following her release. Reports claim the actress was rearrested less than an hour after her bail was perfected, following allegations that she declined to pay an agreed legal fee of 5 million naira to a lawyer said to have facilitated her bail. As of the time of this report, Angela Okorie and her legal representatives are yet to issue an official response. An American private investigator has told a UK High Court that he carried out unlawful information gathering activities while working for British tabloids, including assignment linked to Prince Harry. The investigator's statement forms part of evidence in a privacy lawsuit filed by Prince Harry and other high-profile figures against Associated Newspaper Limited, the publisher of the Daily Mail. The media organization has denied all allegations, insisting there is no proof of wrongdoing. The trial is ongoing, with judgment expected at a later date. And that's it on the entertainment news. Evelyn Izebile reporting for Beetv News.
And that's it in our news update. Thank you for joining us. To stay tuned for more updates on our major news at 6. I am Lee Braitman Johanna. Enjoy the rest of your day.